Yeah, hi. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your late night Smackdown and AEW Rampage review. I will say with Smackdown, definitely the first hour was better than usual. I would say even, like, in my opinion, the first hour was really good, considering that they had basically what could have ended the show in the middle of the show. But in the end of the day, it just proved like that what they had in the second, like basically transitioned to the second hour. It should have been left to the main event. I don't know. This show was basically kind of booked backwards. I'm not saying. I mean, is the main event better than having a shitty women's main event? Sure, and sure. Is it like give some credibility for the Intercontinental title? But it's like, it just felt like really. First of all, the winner. We'll get to it, and not just that, like, really, that's the main event, when it's, like, really not really much great build, as, like, when you have literally one of the best storylines going today, the Usos, oh, what's going to happen with, like, you base the show, like, what's going to happen with Jey Uso? Basically, it kind of felt like, oh, is Austin going to be, remember back in the days, like, oh, is Austin going to be on the show and shit like that? You know, it felt like kind of like in a modern day moment, like, is Austin going to be there? Kind of cliche. Is this wrestler going to be there? Cliche. Like, is John Cena going to be here tonight? And shit like that. It was like that, like with Jey Uso, which was like, wow. God forbid he gets, and it's like, he got the big pop. You could have saved that for the main event. You could have, oh, but because, like, sure, they did certain segments, like, then you should have ended the show in a bigger way. Like, why isn't Reigns on the show? Why, maybe, like, I don't know, something with Reigns and Sami, like, they have a confrontation and shit. They have, I don't know, contract signing. I do think, honestly, thinking about it, a Reigns and Sami Zayn contract signing could actually be very good. They can mention their history together. They can even mention some kayfabe, like, you know, breaking kayfabe shit. Like, I don't know, something about family. Something, like, to make it more actual personal. You know, how I actually cared about you, blah, blah, blah. You could have made, it could easily been great. And again, I gotta tell you, tonight proved, if anything, proved that Sami Zayn should have won the Rumble. Okay? I understand, like, it's what's done is done. But, you know, fuck it, I'll say this. Elimination Chamber. Like, Sami versus Roman at Elimination Chamber will be better than fucking Cody and Reigns at WrestleMania. I'll say that. Just because, and it's like, cause come on, and just, you have to understand the reason why people wanted Sami Zayn to win, and I see why. And boy, I gotta do a video. I hope Sami Zayn does not become your typical, I'm a babyface, I'm happy to be here, I'm a wrestle all over the world, I'm babyface bullshit. He needs to definitely establish a character that he's fucking, you know, he's gonna do what he can, you know, he's fucking, you know, basically how he cut the, first of all, like, what an improvement Sami Zayn is on the microphone. And even, like, I'm happy that even as a babyface, he still is able to cut, like, a cutting-edge promo. So, I hope Sami Zayn has, like, a sort of, like, his new sort of babyface character. He's, like, more kind of badass and shit like that. Maybe, like, try to be, like, you know, he's not gonna take shit from anybody. He's freaking, you know, yeah, like, you know, more serious Sami Zayn in a way. And I think that would be really helpful for him. Not like some goofy cab driver, like, like, no. Sami Zayn proved tonight that definitely, and you know, again, I'm sorry, like, they really dropped the ball. Like, I understand, you know, with their goals, they should probably, you know, they have to now learn how to make Sami, you know, for, like, how they're gonna transition Sami to Roman to Sami and Jey and blah, blah, blah. I get it, you know, they want to maybe do the idea that they're gonna do the Usos versus Sami Zayn and always at WrestleMania, which I don't mind. It's whatever. It just definitely, in my opinion, well, oh, what the Usos do at WrestleMania, then how about this? Both nights, Sami Zayn wrestle, tag champs, and he tried to compete for the world title, but, you know, he fails winning the world title. I don't fucking know. Something. Or one of the other nights. Or it could be one night he challenged for the title, then the other night he wins for fucking the tag titles. And what will that mean for night 2? Then that's when you could do some simple shit. Maybe The Rock come back, but apparently The Rock won't wrestle. I don't fucking know. I do think The Rock should be in WrestleMania for no matter what. I don't fucking know. But see, you know, it's just my wishful thinking. But the thing is, like, I'm sorry, but this show, like, or just like this build, this entire story proved that Sami should have just won the Rumble. And it just like, cause like if you hear even when they mention Cody Rhodes, the fans boo. Is basically they're basically forcing it, just like what they did even with Reigns back in 2015, what they even did with 2014. Which I will think. Here's the thing though. This is like a better storyline than what happened. They had no right to fucking hate on Batista. Even though I do get it at the time, like, sure, Daniel Bryan, whatever, but the reality is, like, he's, like, booked as a goof, and I'll be honest with you, Sami Zayn currently is way better the story than what happened back then with Daniel Bryan. I think it's way better. And not just that, I'm really this big Bryan fan. And again, I never thought I would say I like Sami Zayn more than Daniel Bryan, because I used to even think, like, even I don't like Sami Zayn, I didn't give a shit about him, I like Daniel Bryan more than Sami Zayn. Now it's like, so like, because especially like, because based on like overall bullshit, Sami Zayn has proven that this guy, like Sami Zayn has proven himself that he could definitely, he can entertain. Like the guy, I find him more entertaining, and his story with the Bloodline is more entertaining, and more like in a way supporting enough to like want to see him do something at WrestleMania or whatever, or just care about him. And that he should have won the Rumble than Cody. Cody should have done something else, and maybe even next year you could maybe have Cody won the Rumble and blah blah blah, and Cody could have fucking, I don't know, face whoever's the champion next year. Maybe Sami Zayn or something, you know, next year, or even somebody. Because this basically proved that Sami Zayn should have won the Rumble. I don't know. Definitely Sami Zayn has proved something. Because again, it's the story. You guys talk about long-term booking. The story kind of made me feel like I want to fucking see Sami and Roman at WrestleMania. But what's done is done. We're going to get Cody and Roman at Mania. I just hope Roman doesn't lose to this fucking, like, Cody's the guy. So they say Sami's not, I understand Sami's not the guy. I'm not saying Sami should win. You know? Like, because I understand why, again, I don't think he's, like, world champ material yet. You know? I think even a loss would help him more to make us more care that maybe in the future, maybe like a Money in the Bank or something. Hell yeah, okay. Again, in terms of like the story, like this story has proved that, you know what? Because again, I would rather see Sami Roman at WrestleMania because of the story, because this is a great story going on. Roman versus Cody's not really going to be that great of a story. It's just going to be about, like, again, my father, Dusty Rhodes. And they're even doing that with Monday Night Raw. Even though, like, the Monday Night Raw, even though fucking Raw, sure, the segment was fine. They're relying on Dusty Rhodes. What does that tell you? Like, I don't know. In my honest opinion, like, in a way, they're kind of doing what they did with Roman and why people hated Roman back in 2015. Mentioning the Samoan bullshit, like, sorry, I had to message somebody. I don't know. In the end of the day, what's done is done. I don't think Cody should. But it's like, it's funny. They say Cody's not Sami's not the guy, but Cody is? This, again, did you guys not forget what happened years ago? Just because he has some new fancy entrance now, and he dyed his hair and got some shitty tattoo, does not make Cody Rhodes this fucking badass supposed to be next face of the company. I'm sorry, he's not. Okay? And plus, did you not see what happened in AEW? This guy got booed in the place he built. Okay? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I just think that, like, in terms of what would have been more better story-wise, that would be intrigued for WrestleMania. Because, yeah, it's WrestleMania season, but you should have the best storyline going. I don't even think that Cody versus Roman would be that great of a story shit, you know? I understand that, they can always do Sami, but if anything, that's probably going to be more, in a way, caring than, I'm going to care about that more than Roman and Cody, you know? But obviously, like, this show proved, like, they should definitely build to, like, breaking up the bloodline. Definitely, if we're going to do that, The Rock has to be involved, I think, because, again, like, he's fucking The Rock, it's his family, and this is WrestleMania Hollywood. You kind of need The Rock, but no. But, yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of lose hope with The Rock shit, but hey, it is what it is. I guess it's kind of true what the Elite and Bonafide Heat says. Shout out to them and their channel called Elite Heat. It's that WWE basically conditioned us to think this way. That, like, these legends are going to return and do whatever, you know? Kind of, I guess because, you know, they are trying to do something, which I give them credit for. They're trying to build new stars, which of course, I agree. You need to build new stars because you can't rely on these wrestlers forever. But, you know, you obviously want to do Rock versus Roman, right? This is kind of the year to do it, too. One of the nights it has to be. And then what you could do, essentially, you know, even with Roman, with Cody, like, you could do, like, definitely in some future, like, maybe Rock wins the title at Mania. I do think it should be Rock and Roman at Mania. But whatever. Or, like, at least one of the nights. Maybe he's the one that throws Roman. Because it feels like it makes sense. That's the return legend. Like, Reigns defeat everybody except Rock. But Rock is like the guy he can't beat. He's the head of the table, shit like that. And that can lead to maybe something future where he relinquishes titles. You know, I'm not saying, they should split the title. No. Keep the same titles. And you do, like, either some stupid tournament, some stupid fucking battle, or something that leads to, like, maybe even Cody fucking winning that stupid shit. I don't fucking, even though I don't want Cody to win. Heck, or Sami. I don't know, something. Something. Bigger stars around that, and then, you know, you build some great stories, and you can do what the fuck, whatever. That way, I don't know. Anyways, move on. So let's talk about SmackDown. So Heyman kicks off the show. He drops he says he's here to drop a few pearls of wisdom. Heyman says, ever since my climb at the time, Brock Lesnar conquered the streak of The Undertaker. He doesn't I don't do predictions. I deliver spoilers. So now here's have a notepad ready. The island of relevancy is under the two-prong attack. First, Sami Zayn. And your first spoiler, Sami is not here to save anything. Fans boo. Hey, if you ever really imagine Sami as champion, and then fans popped. Sami, they're also on attack. Can you imagine Sami's champion? I should have said it like that, but now we have another attack by Cody Rhodes. Fans were basically 50-50, so it's funny. Like, this is the smarky. I mean, he's gonna get cheers because he's still a smarky wrestler. But even smarks are waking up to understand that. Or care, like, because again, that's what you do when you actually have a good story going on. Like, why can you not want to cheer for Sami? You know what I mean? You can't really. It's definitely the wrong timing for Cody Rhodes. I will definitely say that. That's for damn sure. And I kind of feel bad for him a little bit, but honestly, at the same time, I don't, because I don't give a shit about Cody Rhodes. I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit, and I don't like that. I don't like that fucking. They think he's a star, but Sami Zayn is not. Like, I think, like. They're not the ideal stars. I love Sami Zayn, but I'm not saying he's a star. I mean, he could have, maybe, like, with good writing, then hell yeah, I'm gonna get behind Sami Zayn than anything. And I think I could. You know, this is definitely giving me, in a way, it's not exactly like Eddie. Obviously, he's no way gonna be near Eddie Guerrero. But it's like, in a way, like, how do you even make, like, you know, Sami Zayn win make sense even if it's happening at Mania? Obviously, he has to get help by somebody. But the idea of, like, even Sami, like, obviously not for a long-term thing or whatever, but, like, he could be the modern Eddie, you know, with the whole good feeling and shit, even. If you were to do that Mania or whatever. But obviously, I don't think that he should win, but it's just, like, you know. But if they're to have the match in the future, and Reigns is still the champion, like, oh, you know, that's where you more build the story and good stuff, you know? Heyman calls Cody a dumbass and says he doesn't know that Dusty raised an idiot for his son. After Cody, what he said, that, we're going to attack, like, he said, like, Cody said, I thought I was wrestling for a championship, making it personal. And he mentioned that, mentioned the titles he had. He has the 2 titles. Again, I don't know why they're not having undisputed, have like an undisputed championship yet. Maybe after Mania. But it's like, they better not split the titles. There's rumors, they're gonna debut a new title. No, don't fuck it. 1 world title. You need only 1 world title. You don't need. First of all, the fact that they were defending the SmackDown tag titles separately was stupid. Like, why are they being defended separate when the Undisputed titles are defended as the same? You don't need to do that stupid shit. Combine the titles, please. Keep the titles the same. 1 pair of titles only, and have a new title design for each, okay? That's what I have to say. And obviously, I also think that you should fucking combine the women's titles. Hopefully one day. I don't know. Whatever. He said, these are championship belts. They are the centerpiece of the Island Royalty. And the reason we're here in the WWE, the family crest of the Fatu and NLY dynasties. Let me make this clear. Without these titles, there's no Island Revolution, there's no Bloodline, there's no Paul Heyman, and there's no Roman Reigns. Then the fans pop when Sami came out. He said Sami was not gonna be there. It's like, oh yeah, hell yeah, this is like. Obviously, I thought like really they're actually like because actually they kind of managed to surprise it a little bit. I kind of think that was cool. It's like really like when they initially said like Sami's not here, like well, so basically like how they're gonna fucking build this fucking rivalry then, So Sami was there. He appears behind Heyman. Sami, so he gets like handed the microphone by Heyman. He says, I'm not gonna hurt you, Heyman, but if he wanted to by now, he could have, but because he's not, because no one is here to protect you or whatever. That's what he said. Basically, he said when he left the Bloodline, Jey Uso walked out on his own. What do you think, Sami? And then he basically asked, what do you think Sami's gonna do? Oh, Jimmy's gonna do next. What do you think Soul's gonna do next? Side with an abusive cousin or his twin brother? Basically, this is like, in a way, Sami's predicting perhaps the future. He's perhaps predicting the cracks of the bloodline, and it's kind of cool. Like he mentions that. It's just I kind of wish like this could be so great for the Mania feud. In my opinion, like the feud and the fucking bloodline feud. Like this whole thing just felt like it should have been more for WrestleMania than just stupid all elimination chamber. Like. Because again, the main thing for WrestleMania should be like the end of a good feud, like it just felt like that's how I felt. But what can you really do? But yeah, whatever. That's what he says. He mentioned that. And then he says, Heyman looks. He basically mentions how Heyman looks at Reigns a little weird and creepy, and like how sun shines out of his ass. And he says, here's another spoiler for Heyman. He tells Heyman that exactly how many days Reigns has left. 8. 8 days from tonight in Montreal is going to this is all the time Reigns has left. And he offers Heyman offers a handshake, but then Sami aggressively hugs Heyman as Heyman's terrified or whatever, and tells Roman doesn't have to worry about Cody because Sami will be the one to take him down. Obviously, we know this is not going to because they already announced the match. But, I mean, there's been times before, like, sure, like, titles changed beforehand, before Mania. Like, for example, people may have thought maybe, it's going to be Austin versus Angle at WrestleMania. Then it turned out to be Rock and Austin at WrestleMania 17. I like that kind of thing where they could basically do that kind of shit where, but if anything, like, really, Sami, again, like, it's babyface versus babyface, how would that make any sense, So, I mean, obviously, Rock and Austin, but then a heel turn happened, But it's like, Reigns is, like, the biggest heel today. It's not like it's going to do some double turn. I don't even say, really, Sami Zayn, like, unless, like, Cody turns heel, like, but it's like, you're not going to do that. Obviously, they're not going to, I mean, but at the end of the day, maybe it feels like he should be the heel since he's going to get booed, but whatever. I don't know. In the end of the day, I'm intrigued. Overall, this was a great segment. I like this segment. It just kind of buy me definitely more than the match and definitely more the story. It just, again, with that story, this is great. It just feels so perfect that it should be for Mania, but whatever. We gotta move on, okay? I don't know. It is what it is. What can you do? We see backstage, McIntyre, Sheamus, they're together, like, go bang off the bang on, like, oh, wow. Then they mentioned top dollar, whatever, the stupid fucking, what was it, what's their shit row, whatever, the hit row, whatever. So shit row, they were like with Adam Pearce. By the way, Adam Pearce like the worst GM I ever fucking see. Has no charisma. It's like he's like favorite the baby. Sometimes he's favorite the baby's face. Sometimes he's favorite the heel. He's never consistent what he's doing. I don't know. He's like, we could have beat the Sheamus and fucking McIntyre. And he's like, what? Oh, really? Okay, let's see tonight. So he just basically made that match. It's like whatever. It's like, that makes Hit Row angry, whatever. McIntyre Sheamus defeats Hit Row. I'm actually, this match was only 10 minutes. Here's the thing about this match. I was surprised that, for the time that, 10 minutes, I think that's bullshit. But, because, this match felt short. And honestly, I like the timeline from this match. I like how they did this match. Because it's not like a commercial break or whatever. They basically try to get things done, they squashed them, which is good, honestly, who cares, but it's not they made it look weak. So I like this match in terms of it's kind of your typical, the fucking, the top star doesn't look weak, and it ends in one segment. That's the beauty of what matches used to be back in the day. You get shit done before a commercial, and I like the flow of this match, so I will give that about this segment of this match. But then you got the whole Viking Raiders, they got a vignette apparently McIntyre and Sheamus are the chosen ones or whatever to face them. And they're gonna face each other next week and whatever. It's what? I don't even know what's the story here, but whatever. It is what it is. Throughout the entire show also was basically Jimmy Uso trying to contact Jey Uso for the tag title match. Jay was not answering. So, Lacey Evans defeats some jobber bitch. I guess it's just good to see Lacey Evans because she's kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie to you, she's a hot Marie. Her thing should be that she's fucking giving her cervix over, she's fucking serve this country while people die in her cervix. That should be her gimmick. And she should basically just adopt that gimmick that fucking, basically that, I don't know, there's this cop, it's viral, this cop, again, I mentioned this before, this cop who's who had sex with multiple cops. That should be her thing, she's a fucking Marine that has sex with, and then she's gonna have sex with all the fucking men in the WWE roster. That'd be fucking kind of funny. But just but hey, it's why not? She's trying to, I guess she's trying to be hot too, why not? It's gonna be fun. Jimmy Uso becomes desperate that he even asks Paul Heyman to partner with him, and he's like, no, or whatever. And then he comes to the senses you know what, Jay's gonna come there or whatever, so he's coming or whatever. So we get some of that. Then the match happens, which is the second match. Really, this is the match already happening. I thought this should have been the main event. Sure, I guess the reason, because also certain segments relating to Bloodline happen after, but it's then you should have ended the show in a better way. I would have rather why not have Reigns there coming out, I don't know, some stupid shit. Heck, maybe a Sami Zayn match. I don't fucking know, Sami Zayn versus somebody even. I don't know, even though it's I mean, it would make people to care more. I don't know. But yeah, so Jey came out. He got big pop, and the second match, the Usos defeat Braun Strowman and Ricochet. This was definitely, in a way, I hate Ricochet. This was probably the only match I probably ever gave a shit about Ricochet. You could take the Usos for that. Braun Strowman is basically a fucking stupid, retard. I'm not fair for you, and he just runs into things like a fucking tard. So he's a giant tard once again. But honestly, who cares? The Usos won. The match was actually pretty decent. There's certain parts I didn't care, but the match definitely picked up while the match ended, and wow, Jey Uso helped fucking his team won. He helped his brother win. It's like, yeah, I even thought why not? Like even the main event, like if Jey doesn't show up, heck, maybe like Sami, he still has remorse because he cares about the bloodline, like he cares about his people. You can have like Sami even tease like maybe he'll help Jimmy or whatever. Or heck, I would even like even something to help build to this crack of the bloodline. This could have been the main event, and instead you could have said all this shit like what you did after this match next week. I mean, obviously they're Jey Uso. I don't know. Apparently Jey Uso's banned in Canada, even though he's not. Jimmy, it's understanding because some DUI. I do think it's pretty gay. Like, even though I understand, but like this Canadian rule shit there where they ban people from coming in. I don't know. It's kind of gay. I mean, it's the law. What can you do? But it's like, wow, that happened. But yet they'll fucking have their own gay rules and shit. I don't fucking know. Canada's fucking gay in general. Okay, let's be honest here. But yeah, I mean, I would have rather like, heck, why not even Sami even helped a little bit? I don't know. The Usos win. Kind of build to that shit, and even makes that suppose a heartbreak in the future, like more heartbreak, or it's kind of adds more to the story that like. Maybe after Mania, that's when the bloodline really cracks, and kind of throw back to this, and yeah. I don't know. It's just like I kind of liking this. Obviously, they're obviously kind of planning, Sami and Owens versus fucking Usos Mania, but like you can always do this thing where maybe like after their feud, then Sami does gain back the respect of the fucking bloodline members, except maybe Reigns, after Mania, since like the feud. You could do that kind of shit, but like, because the bloodline cracks, and I think that's what definitely should be all about with WrestleMania 39. So we get Chelsea Green on SmackDown. So she's asking, "Where's the manager?" Okay, so this bitch, like, she works for this company, yet she doesn't know who the manager is. Like, whatever. Okay, she's trying to be this Karen gimmick, and I'm sorry, like, I don't think it's like, it's whatever. I don't care, I guess she kind of looks like a Karen, because, it's like, I get people probably say she's hot, guys. She kind of have a butter face, Not really a big fan of her, like, I don't know. I just think that there's more other chicks in wrestling than her. I don't know. I guess good for Matt Cardona, or woo, fuck you, eh? I don't care. Then Sonya Dykefield, I don't know. Sonya Dykefield was complaining to Adam Pearce and whatever. Like even though she lost the title match already, shit like that. And then Adam Pearce, well, you two have a lot in common. What, some stupid tag team shit that you're gonna do? Okay. There was even like rumors that Chelsea Green would replace Mandy Rose with Toxic Attraction. Like really, Chelsea Green replacing Mandy Rose. Well, then thank God Toxic Attraction broke up, because Chelsea Green, I don't really find her like. First of all, I don't even think she's like that great looking. Is she the ugliest? Is she ugly? No, I'm not saying she's ugly, but she's definitely overrated in terms of looks. And not just that, it's like I don't even care. Like I think she's like really like not entertaining, or it's just like she's a Karen, but it's like it's not really like much of a character, or it just doesn't feel like it doesn't. She's not giving a good delivery, as I would say. Like let's say if you give. I mean, even fucking with Becky, I hate Bailey. I hate fucking Jay Leno. She managed to be a better Karen than fucking this supposed Karen. You already have a Karen character, supposedly. Now you have another. Oh, whatever. I don't know. Basically, there's some bullshit that, if they win a tag match against Liv Morgan or Raquel Rodriguez, they replaces them. Like, why? Whatever. I don't fucking know. Then after that, then we see Jimmy and Jay backstage. It's like, yo, you in, Usos? And said, nah, I don't know yet. And then Paul Heyman was like hiding like behind like the back. I was like, he's like fucking like I don't know, he's just kind of like, I'm stalking him, stalking. Like it's like, oh wow, look at him. He's like, you're stalking him, guys. He's stalking him, John. But it's like he's like eavesdropping basically. But then he talks to Jim. He's like, "Oh, so what happened?" And then he basically says, "Oh, it doesn't know yet." And then yeah, says yeet, and they basically say yeet to each other. Isn't that like a Sami thing? Whatever. Okay, let's talk about this. Oh my God, this was definitely one of the worst things I've seen. Natty Night Fart. This was one of the worst segments of the night. Or definitely was the worst segment. By the way, Natty Night Fart does not look human. She legit looks so disgusting. I'm not kidding. She looked like all those Botox surgeries. My God, her face does not look normal. I mean, maybe she got failure plastic surgery because she's such a man. You know, it's like fucking back for her. Her fucking testosterone is ruined the fucking Botox. But fuck, Natty Night Fart is the most disgusting and most boring fucking bitch I ever fucking seen in my life. I hate that she's back and I don't care. Boy, can she not talk for shit. Boy, is she annoying, and boy, is she fucking ugly as fuck. She fucking, for the first time in 15 years, Shayna Baszler took her out, or blah, blah, blah. Like, 15 years, like, man, you should have fucking, 15 years, she should have been gone. Like, fuck. Maybe the fucking rise of She-Hulks would have decreased. You fucking caused it. I'm not a model. Well, you're certainly not a model. Yeah, you're trying. I don't fucking know. She says, I will go to the chamber and advance to Mania, like, whatever. And then Baszler comes out and she says, sick and tired, blah, blah, blah. And she's got she gets called a knockoff Ronda, blah, blah, blah. Then Ronda Rousey returns or whatever. Like, she returned since, like, her appearance back in, back when she lost the title. Which, like, shouldn't she go after the women's title? Like, well, even if they announced the fucking women's title match, shouldn't they at least try to even finish up their feud? Like, the idea, like, Ronda has a rematch clause, even do that match at the Chamber pay-per-view? Like, I don't know. Again, in my opinion, like, what you have done instead, if you could have Sami versus Roman Mania, then obviously, like, you could have easily done, even though it would have been predictable as all hell, like, fucking, you could just have Reigns in the Chamber and win it, you know? I mean, I don't give a shit about women should be in the Chamber, but I don't know. All you need to know that Ronda and Shayna, they basically beat up the Botox bitch. And fucking, and then, Shotzi, who, stupid green hair bitch, she gets beat up too, whatever. Backstage, we see Jimmy and Sami. I like that. I like their chemistry. Obviously, this is like, it's great storytelling in general. Sami doesn't want to put Jey in a tough spot, but he knows Roman very well, and Jey knows him even better. And he can't imagine Reigns letting Jey get by for what he did. And he even thanks Sami for what he did in the Rumble, and meant a lot. He says 8 days from he's going to do something huge, from something that he knows Jey has always wanted to do a long time, and that's Roman's going down. Sami doesn't know how he's going to do it, but Reigns will go down, and Jey doesn't have to go down with the ship. There's a way out. Sami isn't sure that if there will be a chance to talk like this again, but in this case they don't. Sami wants Jey to know Sami is acknowledging Jey. Sami offers a fist bump, and Jey said, "You better get out, Oos." And then they eventually bump. He says, like, basically Sami says, "First let's fist up," and then yeah. So you kind of like, yeah, they're building their relationship. There's like, he's gonna cost him, like, but like now the idea that he might not be able to go at. Again, isn't it Jimmy? Like, he's not Jimmy. Like, how does that affect, like, what? Is it because they're twins? And, like, I don't know, some gay shit with Canada. I don't know. This is the problem when you give people the championships. Like, obviously, they should. Why not? Like, this is a pay-per-view still. Why aren't they defending titles? Well, whatever. Imagine if they had WrestleMania in Toronto. And then, like, imagine this shit happens. Like, wow, But whatever. I don't know. That's the world we live in, Definitely, maybe in a way, like, if they're going to have, even Jey, like maybe it could be a reluctant thing, and then like because I do think I love the fucking chemistry. I love it. I love it. And obviously it's gonna help build story. If they're gonna feud and shit, but obviously. This is a great way to maybe if they were reminiscent after the bloodline cracks and yeah, because I do think that that's what it should be in the end of the day, for future references and whatever. So, LA Knight's asked what happened back at the Rumble, and he says he's moving on and blah blah blah. There you go. I mean, didn't he die? Him and or Uncle Howdy died or whatever. I don't know. We're supposed to believe he's dead. But yet, Uncle Howdy basically missed and killed himself instead. But whatever. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez defeats Chelsea Green and Sonya Dykeville. No one fucking cares. Whatever. Then Ric Flair Jr. gets interviewed. She tries to be seductive. I swear to God, why is it that fucking all these disgusting bitches, they get to be seductive, but we can't have chicks like Alexa Bliss. We can't have Mandy Rose be hot. Because that's too fucking edgy. Or she can't have a fucking fan. I don't give a fuck. But even let's talk about TV in general. Why can't we have hot chicks being hot? Why can't there be sexual? But we get these disgusting bitches. They're showcased as women. How does that work? What, is it because they want to boost their... we know you... Because, what? Do they not know? So they know probably that we think these bitches are disgusting. But, this is your way to, you know what? You don't feel bad for them because they're tranny looking, I don't fucking know. Charlotte mentions, I don't know, something, but then she gets interviewed by Michael Cole, and you guys had a feud 3 years ago where you guys basically had gay or oral fucking tranny sex with each other. Now you guys get to go out again in front of a crowd. Yeah, great. The crowd can hear their moaning sounds. Really? Oh, yeah, that's really intriguing. And the main event, Madcap Moss, defeated Karrion Kross, Santos Escobar, and Rey Mysterio in a fatal four-way number one contenders match for the for the Intercontinental title. Really? First of all, why was this the main event? I understand in terms of the certain segments after the tag title match, but then why not? I don't know. You could even film some shit that could have happened next week. Why wasn't this the main event? Because especially when the build should have been Jey Uso coming back and in the end of the day does something right that lead by his brother and help him win. That should have been the fucking thing of the show. But no, they don't do that. They basically just, I don't know. And this because they like to pretend the Intercontinental title matters, I'm not saying I don't know, they've been trying to lately to try to make the Intercontinental title matter even though it's been still in obscurity in a long time, which I do respect in a way, but it's this should have still been in the mid card. This should have still been in the middle of the show. Especially if you're gonna have Madcap Moss win. Really, the main event is Madcap Moss. Not even Mysterio carrying. I mean, heck, for all we know, why not do some stupid shit where even though it's been stupid, but you could have, why not? Since apparently they're feuding, Mysterio and Karrion Kross, even though it was some stupid gay shit, not one definitive winner, but you could have done some shit where some screwy finish that, they both somewhat win the match, and you could have led to some triple threats, Even though they've been kind of ripping off, thinking about the toxic attraction shit, but I don't know, it's not like they're a team. You could have done some shit. Also, in my opinion, if you want to make this fucking feud make sense, why not, you could have mentioned, this is what they should have essentially do. Since Karrion Kross got eliminated in the Rumble, to keep him strong, first of all, he kind of looks still weak now. Especially after what they did with him in the Rumble, and him had kind of losing to Mysterio, even though you kind of think of the idea, maybe he could have helped, took out Rey at the Rumble. What I would have done, you should have filmed something that, because apparently Mysterio was not there at the shows, why? You should have done essentially that he helped Dominic at the Rumble, beating him up, which cost him entering in the Rumble. You should have done a footage, whatever, or you should have mentioned what really happened, and that could easily make this few more sense for why they supposedly hate each other. But no, they didn't really do that. Or throughout the show, you had promos with the fucking, Karrion Kross and Madcap and fucking Mysterio, I don't know, they're fine. This is like really madcap. Like they're really trying to make this person like this guy's not gonna win. I get it. He's a babyface, but it's like, who cares? Like, at least people give shit about Mysterio. Oh, he's treated. Okay, then you could have easily done some shit like, why not make that the match with Gunter for next week? And I was like, again, why isn't next week? Why not? Why are they not doing title matches at the pay-per-view? I don't get this. Like, you're trying to make the mid-card titles matter, but yet you're refusing to even defend them at the pay-per-view still? I don't know. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. Like, people, whatever. That show did not really exactly end with that. It ended still with freaking, Jimmy Uso backstage. Paul Heyman walks in, and he was just on the phone with Reigns, and he puts he says he would put Jimmy on the phone, but there's no reception in here. Heyman says Reigns is very proud of Jimmy and says Jimmy was right about his brother being loyal to him, but Heyman says he and Roman had this thing figured out for next week in Montreal. Reigns needs to be on TV's TV perspective, and so he wants the Usos to stay home. Yeah, not that's like, because, it has nothing to do about DUIs or whatever. And watch the show on TV because, something, you see things on TV and don't really want to see when you're here live. And Heyman aggressively puts Jimmy on the arms and walk off. And Jimmy looks a bit concerned or confused or both. So what? They're just mentioned next week that Jey was with Sami last week? Like, that's some big deal? Like, that's what, like... I mean, again, first of all, shouldn't Jimmy know? Because, like, apparently, because this is Wrestling 101. Back in the day, like, wrestlers would know no matter what's going on the show. Because they're part of the show. But, like, whatever. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe, hopefully, something new. Overall, the show was not too terrible. Okay? It should have been, obviously, Reigns should have been on the show regardless. Heck, why not, Reigns find out that Jey talked to, imagine this, you could have done some shit. Roman finds out Jey was talking to Sami, and that makes Roman angry easily, something for next week. Based from that, he finds out from that. But then, you could have ended the show easily if Reigns was on the show. But no. Let's move on to Rampage. The overall Smackdown was whatever. It wasn't the worst show. It wasn't too terrible. Could have been way better. I would say the first hour was kind of definitely better than the second hour. Kind of first hour in general. It was pretty fine. It was good. I thought. If you honestly ended the show with just that hour, it would probably been the best Smackdown in years. I'm not kidding you. Because, when you kind of have, infested with shit, you, really, if you think about it, what was the only really shitty shit that happened at that time was basically the Lacey Evans match, and sure, but the squash match was kind of enjoyable, with McIntyre and Sheamus, even though it wasn't really a squash match or whatever, but, hey. Let's move on to Rampage, and Rampage was basically, just some stupid gay shit that happened. I just want to make sure that I covered everything. I think, I pretty much covered everything in Wrong Smackdown gear. But let's talk about rim job. Let's talk about this gay rim job, huh? That's fine. I'm reading something. So the first match... okay, by the way, here's what. So I tuned into Rampage. I don't know, again, I don't know why I do this myself, but I guess to have a better understanding of the show, and plus I was kind of lazy and letting my iPad charge. I did watch Rampage just a little bit, then I went to shower or whatever during the show because I just lost interest. But so I turned on the show before it started, and they showed a video package. Basically, they were hyping what happened last week on this show. They were hyping what I mean by I should have said it. They basically advertised what happened last week on this show like it was gonna happen this show. Even TNT doesn't give a shit about Rampage. and it's like the same shit. They literally advertised that, oh, like what happened last week, it was gonna happen on this show. I'm not kidding you. They basically said verbatim, like, oh, like the Elite were gonna defend the tag titles for the first time on Rampage. That didn't happen on this show. That happened last week. So they basically advertised what happened last week. That was gonna happen on this show, but it happened last week. Well, how does that? What does that tell you about TNT? How they don't give a shit about this shit? Like fuck, like how fucking a botch and wow. But you know, instead we'll get this gay shit. We'll get the Blackpool Combat Club defeating Wheeler Utah. No, not Wheeler. The Blackpool Combat is Moxley, Claudio, and Wheeler defeating Kip Sabian, this fucking faggy drug meth guy. Like, first of all, I don't get this. This company has Penelope Ford, you know, one of the hottest AEW chicks. Like, AEW has the hottest chicks, honestly, besides some trannies. And yet they don't do hot shit with them. They're TV4 team. I don't get it. And they're doing nothing. They're doing nothing with Penelope Ford, but they'll do something with Ruby Soho. What the fuck? Anyways. And yeah, they'll fucking rather use their gay boyfriend or whatever. Yeah, but again, Kip Sabian, whatever, and the Butcher and the Blade, they're like the jobber tag team compared to the Blackpool Combat Club. And yet they're struggling to beat them. At least with McIntyre and Sheamus, when they were fucking fighting Shit Row, they're not struggling because they're like established wrestlers, you know, they're former world champions. Again, Moxley is a former world champion. Claudio is the fucking ROH champion or whatever. Wheeler Utah is a champion. And yet they're struggling to beat jobbers. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. This is the problem with AEW. We get a preview of Adam Cole, Gay is gonna have some fucking interview that no one cares about. He's gay. I don't fucking give a shit about Adam Cole, Gay. Fuck him. Yeah. That happened. What else happened? So, I'm trying to read something, sorry. Then what happened? Oh yeah, Jericho breaches society. I'm trying to get the fucking results. The Jericho breaches society attacked these people from Impractical Jokers because they stole Jericho's bat, and you know they beat him up. I guess it's whatever. They obviously like did they put him to the table like a powerbomb shit. It obviously looked kind of like it definitely looked faker than usual because you know they're not wrestlers, so whatever. It looked definitely fake as well. I understand, you know, obviously wrestling is fake, but it looked fake for like legit like fake, you know, because they were legit like it's like you're wrestling with a child, and then the child, you know, you're trying to make sure it's like you're playing wrestle with a child, right? And you don't want the child to get hurt. It basically was like that kind of cliche. Let's be honest here. Then Dustin Rhodes, he cuts a promo like, what is that on your chest? The 3 triangles? What does that stand for? Looks like Doritos to me. And I like Doritos, but I hate you. What the fuck? Why do these wrestlers cut cornball promos and try to be funny when they're not funny? It's like corny as hell. Guys hate rejects, so do I. Like fucking Dustin Rhodes, he mentions like how, you know, for the past year, do you want to ruin my legacy? I've been wrestling for like longer than your testicles and shit like that. And then he gets beat up by fucking Isaiah Swerve, his whatever, the stupid guy, the stupid black guy, whatever. And he says, "Happy Black History Month," because get it, I'm black, get it? I don't fucking care. Dustin Rhodes trying to be charismatic when the guy, I don't know, it's like stupid. I'm sorry. Ruby Soho defeats Marina Shafir, and I don't give a shit. I don't know. Something about... Then after that, Toni Storm and Saraya and Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter gets into some brawl while Ruby is standing in the ring. It's announced that Storm, Britt Baker, and Ruby Soho for the 3-way is set for Dynamite for some dumb reason. Whatever. Then we see Mark Briscoe. So they kind of establish who he is. And Mark Briscoe... Listen, I'm not trying to be cruel. I understand his brother passed. And And again, I'm happy they're trying to use him. And I think, but I don't know Mark Briscoe. Not that again, like this is coming from a guy watching AEW, right? The guy just sounds like I understand he's redneck, right? Sure, but he just sounds like. Is his thing that apparently he can't really talk right? Like, is that his gimmick? With that analogy, then like these rednecks should be kind of like they're retarded, but you know, I don't know. I just got like Eugene vibes, and they should be like a comedy thing, but like they're not. We're supposed to think they're serious, and this guy is serious. I don't know, like. I don't know if that's how it's supposed. I don't know. Again, I think I'm just being generous because his brother died, and but the thing is, this is a TV show. Let's be honest here. No one knows who the fuck the Briscoes are besides Marks. And I'm sorry, you can't just bring a guy out of nowhere when no vignettes in character, you know. So since this was like, you know, them establishing him, I hate to say it, but it's like, what the fuck was this? And then, they're basing his feud, now he's gonna face some jobber named Josh Woods. It's like, it's a long time. It's been a long time, man. And like, this whole Josh Woods guy. It's like, why should we know about this and who fucking cares? Like, no one knows who the fuck this Josh Woods guy. So this was some ROH stupid shit? Like, again, no one knows. What's this? Whatever. I don't know. I'm moving on. Jungle Boy defeats fucking Dolph Ziggler's brother, who legit acted like Dolph Ziggler. He literally was like, pull this off right here, right now. He legit was shaking out. He did the Ziggler DDT. He did the fucking jumping DDT, and he basically shake his ass like, yeah, this is for the men who want to be, this is for the women who want to be me, and the men who come to see me. That's basically what Dolph Ziggler was. And what, does the gayness run in the family? Why, whatever. Hangman Page is like, I hate his ass a lot. What? Hangman Page is interviewed. He questions why it's always Renee interviewing him. He snaps at her for bringing up the fact that Jon Moxley has beat him 2 out of 3. Page swears that this isn't the end, and Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford interrupts and mocks him, and Page swings and misses, then restrains himself and walks off, and Penelope's holding a rotary phone for some reason, or is that what? You know, wow, it's funny, like, Penelope Ford, I mentioned her, she's actually on the show. I don't know, what the fuck is this? I don't fucking know. I don't know what the fuck this is. And what, wow, this looks retarded. Because I did miss this because I went to showers because, like, I didn't want to fucking waste time watching stupid shit. It's like, this looks stupid. It's announced on Dynamite, Jon Moxley and Claudio versus Rush and Preston in a tornado tag match. Why? What's the story? No one knows, but whatever. In the main event, this was the main event, really. Orange Cassidy defeats Lee Moriarty, and after the match, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Setman Singh laying out Orange Cassidy, Danhausen, and best friends, the Acclaim and Billy Gunn make the saves, and the heels resist, retreats, and like, what? This is how they end the show? Kind of lame. Rampage is dog shit. It's like a gay rim job, legit. Like, fuck this gay rim job. Only fucking smarks like this gay rim job, and they have no lives. That's all I wanted to say, people. Let's keep it real. Get your gains, calls, my news, inspire Miss Business, go oh shit. Hey, so next time. Peace. Yeah, bye. Literally, the Bloodline is the only best thing of the show, you know? It's the best thing of wrestling. So Smackdown was definitely better. So till next time, peace, yeah, bye. Even though I don't really, like, I don't know. It's whatever. Didn't really mind Smackdown tonight, so there you go. Till next time, peace, yeah, bye.